I definitely did move around like so much as a kid growing up. And you grew up, you were talking this morning about driving past your childhood home, you know what I mean? Which is so funny because I don't have one childhood home.
Interesting.
I can't think of like one place I would drive by and be like, that's it. My childhood home.
Yeah,
because we moved like we moved like every year. I think it's cool because it's like you have such a beautiful like classic story, and it's like so cool to me watching you go tell your story. Like you're married, you're in love. It's amazing. I've met your husband. I've met your dog. I've seen your house. It's incredible. I guess in a way I kind of do romanticize a little bit where I'm like, wow, like I don't know, I'm just happy for you. You know what I mean?
Oh,
yeah.
Thanks. Mm-hmm. It's funny though, as far as like people thinking your music's like darker or whatever. I think we write about the same perspective of like young girl going through breakup.
Totally.
Young girl getting cheated on. Young girl falling in love carelessly.
Yeah.
And I think that your production, like in your artistry, brings out this like fire in the stories, and mine brings out like the, but it's gonna be fine, right?
I love that optimism though. But what's funny is
but that's what makes it so cool, because it's really not that different, except you kind of have the perspective of like, and I have the perspective of like, ding.
But you also know me in real life, which is crazy because I feel like sometimes people hear my music and think I'm like a really dark person.
Yeah,
and
you're
you know that I'm like not at all.
You're not.
I'm like super like goofy and like, I don't know, it's definitely, we've had our fair share though of like long, serious talks where I am the dark one. And you are the optimistic light who's telling me everything's gonna be okay, for sure.
My role.
Yeah. I remember you were so surprised at how much country music I knew.
I was.
Yeah, everyone knows it now because I talk about how much I love country all the time, but I think maybe early on when I first started out in my career, people didn't know that I loved country. Love country.
Well, we were talking today, even like Graveyard, it has like a bit of a country flair to it.
Totally.
Like, come on.
I know. I was born in the wrong part of the country. But also you.
You're always welcome.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm here to have my moment.
So I grew up on like everything, but I didn't really listen to a ton of country, even though like I lived on a farm next to my cousins. We grew up going to church every Sunday and like frying chicken afterwards. Like it was the super cliche of country music, but I didn't listen to a ton of it growing up, other than the Shanias and the Gars that just kind of
You can't escape.
Transcended country. But I grew up on Top 40, like what we've listened to together, like the Britneys and all of that. I also like fell in love with the Stevie Wonders and the Frank Sinatras and Tony Bennett's and all that kind of stuff. So when I discovered country, I was already writing songs kind of with all those other influences.
I found country later as well. It wasn't ever on my radar growing up because my dad listened to a lot of hip hop and my mom listened to like 90s grunge, you know? But I think it was for me once I started writing, once I started playing guitar, because I think I just found myself like relating to the style so much. And because I try to write really poignant, straight cut through to the bone, kind of like, I'm gonna make you feel right now. And like no one does that better than country music. So it was only a matter of time before I went in and like went back and realized how much I knew and kind of rediscovered things. And like I know every word, like every Dixie Chicks song like ever of all time, and like Keith Urban, and like you said, transcends. That's what's really cool about you too though, is that you have transcended but still managed to stay so true to the genre like that birthed you, which is really, really cool.
It's the whole music is music thing. I think like rooting yourself somewhere where you feel supported and watered, but then letting yourself grow where you want to grow, you know? And I think it's a really cool time in country where there's all these collaborations happening, where like people that have the stigma of like, oh, it's all about the husband cheated on the wife and he's taking the truck and the dog and all that. And it's not that, you know? It's so much deeper and so much more. And I think the people that have that stigma with all these kind of crossovers and you doing this and all that kind of stuff, it helps like just bring new ears in, and it's exciting.
I love it. I have friends at home that are going to country music concerts and country music festivals, like people that otherwise never would have been like exposed to the genre. And it's really cool watching them fall in love with it, because like a country music crowd is really one of a kind. The amount of love and optimism and pain and feeling and like community and family in that audience is like, it's a different kind of thing. It really is.
Yeah,
it's different. And I'm jealous because you get to perform to that every night. And that must be like unbelievable. My first show here, I remember, sold out, and
Where'd you play?
Cannery Ballroom.
Cannery's so good.
And I remember being like, I can't believe people there even know who I am or care at all. And so like, I don't know, it just feels really special. What was your first show here? Where was it?
I mean, I used to do Bluebird
Yeah.
and like listening room and all that.
So
So
cool.
I did the songwriter like circuit before I got to do the artist thing. But I remember when I did, I guess it was second headlining tour, it was like theaters. And with Nashville, I was like, I really don't want to do a show here until I can sell out the Ryman. Like that's really important to me.
Yeah.
And so I remember when I got to do that, it was like big check off the bucket list.
100%.